Hello, Stampin' Friends. This is Carol Parsons. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in South Carolina, and welcome to this week's video. I am behind. As you may have seen in a recent post, I had breast cancer, had surgery. I'm now undergoing radiation, and everything's good. They got it all. They caught it early, thank goodness, but you know, with all this stuff going on, I'm a little off schedule. So this video was supposed to be last week's video. But I have something fun to show you today. This is called a matchbook fold, and look how this opens. Isn't that fun? Now, I've improved it since this version. I have done like 3 versions of these. I keep changing little pieces of the directions. I monkeyed around with the mechanism here. We're going to do something different right here, something I like better. And this one, silly me, I forgot to flip it and I had the fold at the top. So I had to disassemble it, put it back together. So now this piece is uber thick because I just cut off the front of the one I messed up and glued it onto this one. So now this top is a little wonky. It's sticking up where it won't with the one that we're going to make, if that makes any sense. But anyway, let me tell you what we're using today. First of all, I love this trim. This is called the Irregular Weave trim, and it's part of the product suite Autumn Amber. Okay, so this is the stamp set, the ribbon. We're using the streaked dots, which I think look just like tiger eyes. Do you know that stone? They use it in jewelry primarily. It was in my high school class ring a million years ago. So there's our stamps and the dies. We're going to be using this one. I guess you'd call that like a background die. It's really big, very pretty. And I've got this on magnet sheets. There we go. You also get a die to cut out the 2 images that we're going to use, a pumpkin and a acorn. And then there's a leaf die and a little branch. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, the designer series paper. You see 2 little bits here. This is called Autumn Toile. And this is actually a toile print here with the little fox on it. I think I've got it all. Oh, on the card that we're going to make, I want to change the ribbon. We're going to use this crumb cake ribbon because this is more solid. I don't want to use something that's open, even though I love this, because we need adhesive attached to it, and I've worried about it, you know, the stickiness coming through. So I want to see if this will function a little better for us. All right, so I've got my directions here. I think I've got everything set up so we'll need. And let's get started. So the first thing we need is the card base. And this is pecan pie. And it measures 3 3/4 by 9 3/4. And I'll have a copy of this PDF directions for you linked in the description box below. It'll be on my blog. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to score it at 5 1/4. And when we do that, yes, it doesn't line up at the top, but that's part of how that matchbook functions. So it's supposed to be like this. And when you put this together, don't do what I did the first version I made and put the fold at the top. That's the normal way of doing it. We're doing it this other way because this is a matchbook fold. So we want the fold at the bottom and the opening at the top. Now, also part of the card base is this piece, and this is 2 1/2 inches wide by 4 1/4 this way, or maybe this is height and this is width. Anyway, so 2.5 by 4.25, and we're going to score it in half at 1.25. And we're going to be adhering that to the back panel of our card base. And it will be there permanently, and that's going to be where our card opening is. Now, we have to decorate this. So, of course, on top of that, we're going to put a little piece of DSP. And the back of that is one of the toile patterns. But I think this will work best for what we want. And that piece is 1 by 4. All right, have I got all of those? No, I haven't done this yet. This die is big. And the best way I have been able to come up with to make this function for us is to cut it as thin as we can first, get it on here, and then trim it off. Because if you try to die cut it and trim it, like right here, because we don't need it to be quite so tall, it makes a big mess. So we want to have a piece of paper first that is cut. Here it is, 3 3/4 wide by 5 1/8 inch tall. Okay, so that's just a hair breadth wider than what the die cut is. So here's your die cut. So it's just a little bit of an edge around it so that it will hold together and you won't have those open places there. Now, I have a tip for you about this dryer sheets. I think many of you know, but I'm going to show you. These make a huge difference on how this functions because this is such an intricate die. So if you put your cut portion on top of the dryer sheet and then put that on top of your, what was it, 5 1/8 by 3 3/4 piece, and then run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, just like that. Then when you take it out, number one, the pieces will all cut out more easily, and because this dryer sheet is there, the little pieces don't stick so hard in here, and you don't have to poke them out with your pokey tool, and gosh, I hate doing that. That makes such a difference. So you can use your brush. This is the old Stampin' Up! Die cut brush, but we have an attachment now that fits on the end of the tool, so if you don't have one, that might be something you'd want. So to save time, I went ahead and die cut this for us, okay? And then what else do we need? We need, for the inside, we need a piece of basic white that is 3 1/2 inches by 9 1/4. And we score this at 5 inches. And again, it has that same kind of lip right there. This is the inside. Then we need a little scrap. This is what I've determined to use on the inside with the pop-up, and I really like it. This is 2 1/2 by 1 1/4 inch. And then you need 3 small pieces of basic white. You need let's see, this is this one, 2 1/2 by 2 7/8 inch piece. This is going to be on the front. This is this piece right here. So we're going to die cut our, we're going to stamp our greeting on the corner. And then we need, let's see. Okay, I'm sorry, I was looking at the dog. She's standing there staring at the door. We'll need a piece of 3 by 3 inch to stamp and die cut this out with. And a piece that's 2 1/4 by 3 to stamp and die cut this out with. And oh, the last thing. This is, I think it's 1x4 also. Yes, this is 1x4, and this is on the front. And all I did here was take my scissors and flag it. So you know how to do that, right? You take your scissors straight up the center, and then cut from the corners in. As a matter of fact, that one's a little crooked, so let me see if I can fix that. There, okay. Now, all right, so let's get to building this. So the first thing I want to do is follow the directions. Okay, oops, throwing paper around. Okay, so we're going to start with this. This is our inside portion, and we want to create our pop-up slits. So we need our Stampin' Trimmer, and let me remove that little part. And what we want to do is put the fold, here's our fold, at the top of the trimmer, okay? And we want to cut down, see how there's measurements right here? We want to cut down 3/4 of an inch. But we want to do it in 2 places. And I'm going to use a pencil just to show you so that it might make a little more sense. We want to make the first one at 1.5. So I'm going to put a little pencil mark there. And then the next one at 2 1/4. Okay. Now, so there's 1.5, right? 1.5. So you see that's how wide we're going to have it. And it's going to be 3/4 of an inch down. So if you've got a Stampin' Trimmer, that makes this so easy. Right. And I'm going to have to stand up and try not to get my head in the way. 3/4 of an inch is right there. And I'm going to put this up in the camera so you can see. See that little notch right there? And there's the 3/4 inch mark. Okay. Then take it out and we'll put it at 2 1/4 inch. We'll do the same thing. Go to 3/4 of an inch and stop. Now we've got 2 nice slits, but we want to make a score line right here. The first time or two I did it, I did not put a score line, and you can do it without it, but it's so much nicer when you do. So we want this to be at 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to use the 3/4 of an inch on this side just because it's a little easier. And we only want to do that between those 2 slits. There we go. That's just going to make it fold a lot nicer for us. And I'm going to let the dog out because she's waiting so patiently at the door. All right. Now we want to open this up and push this piece a little with our finger. And then close it. And because it's scored, it's going to kind of have a paper memory that really helps it. There you go. Beautiful. All right. Now, so I'm going to follow my directions. Okay. I can go in many other order of things, but if I follow these, I can make sure that it will be perfectly right for you. All right, so on the 2 1/4 by 3 inch piece of white paper, we stamped the acorn, and I stamped mine with early espresso ink, but black would look nice too. So I stamped it and I colored it with Stampin' Blends, and then I die cut it. Okay. Now we want to adhere this to that little square first. So what we're going to do is make this little, I don't know, shelf or tab for this to go on. It's going to make it a whole lot easier to glue this to that little piece because you only apply glue to that little square. And I tried, that's what I did on this one. And it's hard. And I don't know, it just kind of left me thinking it looks like it's hanging out there, you know, in the middle of space. And then I put that there and I was like, yeah, this is going to be way better. So take your glue and put it just on that little square right here, okay? And then we'll put this right here. And you want to center it. And we'll close it up and rub it to make sure it's stuck. Very nice. Now we can more easily put this on. And I am going to eyeball this. I'm going to put my finger about there. So I know I don't want to put any glue up above my finger, just this part. I know that's so technical, right? Now, if I was smart, I could have put it up against this and traced a line on the back of this, but I didn't. Yeah, I know. How many times did I tell you I made this card and it didn't dawn on me until just now? But oh well. But hey, you know what? I didn't get any glue off over the edges. And look at, I love that. Oh, that looks really pretty. Okay. I'm a happy girl with that one. And one of the other things we wanted to make sure not to do was glue this on before we had the greeting stamped. So let's do that now. I want to use Cajun Craze. That's what's in this part of our designer series paper. And you could stamp Autumn Wishes, or you could stamp Happy Thanksgiving, which would have to be from another stamp set. I'm going to use Autumn Wishes. I'm glad I saved some retired stamp sets so I still have some Happy Thanksgiving. I don't know why that's become such a hard thing to find. Not just with Stampin' Up, all stamp companies. It's like, I don't know, we're not doing Thanksgiving anymore? Oh well, I am. All right, so, but Autumn Wishes is nice, so that'll be good. I think I might want, now that I think about it, you know what? Wonder we could stamp just a leaf right there. Maybe not. No, I think I would like that. All right, so let's use pecan pie. Let's just be daring and try it. What do you think? Okay. And I only want, I'll use the back of these directions. I only want that leaf right there. Just a little, ooh, I like that. Just a little something there. Okay. So now the inside is all done. And that takes us to the second page. So we glued the pop out on. Now we're going to do one of the more tricky parts. We're going to put this on here. Okay, so this is going to require a few minutes of watching me glue, but you aren't going to have to watch me color and die cut. So maybe I offset that a little bit. All right, I'm on the back. And that lip or edge is so skinny. I don't know that we can go all the way around, so I'm just going to dot it in several places. And weather. How's your weather been? We are just a little bit cooler now. I've had to wear a sweater this past week at some of my doctor's appointments in the morning. So that's kind of nice for us because here in South Carolina, our summers are a little brutal. I've been enjoying my dog since I've kind of been housebound this week. She is a good person to have around when you're on pain medication. You're hurting and she wants to love and cuddle, which is so sweet. That's about it. That'll do it. Okay. I love these silicone sheets. I think I have 3 of them floating around. All right, so, didn't think I don't really have to have glue on the very tippy top of that because I'm going to cut it off, but that's okay. I'm going to put some paper towel under and over it. It always amazes me how mono glue and, well, some other white glues too, but I've got mono glue in my empty art glitter glue bottle. I love how you put it on and it's white and you think, oh no, but it dries clear. Okay, now we're going to cut this off. Okay. It's more stable since we've already glued it. And this is much easier than trying to die cut a piece that is that length. And if by some chance you don't get your sides lined up, you can come on the back and any part that's hanging over, you can just snip it off. There we go. Ta-da! Oh, we're doing well. Now, remember, fold at the bottom, opening at the top. The next thing we're going to do is check this, cut off the overhang at the top. Yep, we're going to apply glue to the back of our card base. So the top back, so it's the open part. So I'm going to turn this around. And if you'll notice, this is about that deep, right? So no further down than that. There we go. And we want to, this end, center it right to left. And I'll use my bone folder just to push that glue down into the cardstock fibers. Get a nice good adhesion there. There we go. And now we want to take this grid paper, grid pattern, and we're going to apply some, gosh, that glue's dried already. I'm going to use Stampin' Seal because glue is kind of messy for me. There. Okay. So we want to center this. I'm going to open it so I can see. There we go. Now, doesn't that look pretty so far? Okay, so the next thing we'll do is put our banner right here. And I put mine, yeah, I think I still like that. Okay, I put it about right here. So I'll use some Stampin' Seal again. Maybe I better put a little more on this side. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to go all the way to the top, or just about to the top. And again, use a bone folder just to make sure that adhesive gets down into all the little grooves. That fox is so cute, and we're going to cover him up. Oh well. Okay. All right, so this is the next piece. It's going to go right about like that. Oh, I wish we could see the fox. I was trying to use scraps of paper. Not going to work, Carol. We're not going to see that cute little fox. All right. We want to glue a sentiment on there, and one of the stamps says, "You're simply the best." And I think that would be really nice to send to someone. Autumn wishes, you're simply the best. And since this is Cajun Craze, let's use that again. And we want to put it in the upper right hand corner, way over, so that when we put that pumpkin die cut there, it won't interfere. So when we glue it, we're going to make sure that some of that is hanging off. It's going to give a really nice look because it's going to be on top of that toile paper. Gives a little, I don't know, kind of dimension to the card. Also, it leaves room for that. So we need glue again, and I'm going to use my reverse tweezers to hold on to this. And since that left edge is going to run off the top, don't put glue over there. Or not the top, run off the edges. There we go. All right. And let's put that about right there. Perfect. But now we can put some on that edge. I guess we could have put it on there anyway. Then it will stick to this. Okay. Oh, so when this is down, let's do that so we'll know where it is. Let's put it about right there. What do you think? We good? Okay. All right, now, and because this is a rough surface with some depth to it, I'm going to use glue here. I want to make sure that it's on well. Okay, use the bone folder again. Push that glue down in so that it will adhere well. Okay, now we're going to do some magic. Let's see. I need to put the top on this before I forget. I am the world's worst at forgetting to stop this up. And since it's a fine tip glue bottle, it stops up quickly. There. So yeah, I know. It's an empty art glitter bottle and it's got Armano glue in it, but I like this tip better than our tip. Don't ask. All right. So to prepare for our ribbon, let's put a little bit of Terran tape in the middle. Oh, I don't know. What is that? 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches? Just a little. And get that ready. That's going to help hold our ribbon in place, and I think I want about like 20 inches. You might not need so much, but now the dog wants back in. But you know what? She's just going to have to stay out there. Sorry, honey. I'm not going to get up and leave my friends hanging to go answer the door. All right, let's see. 12. Am I going to? No, maybe I won't need that much. Oh, yeah, I think I will. I was right. Okay, 24 inches. So let's measure. There's 16. Okay, right here. All right, now let's find the center, just right there. Put that right in the center of the back, so that's going to hold it on. And you know what? Before we do the rest of that, let's put this in. Uh-oh. I did. Oh, shoot. I've done this so many times. I thought, surely I won't make a mistake. I did. The little part is supposed to be at the bottom, and the big part is supposed to be at the top. So, all right. The only thing I can do is cut this off. It's not going to be a deal breaker. It's just kind of an oh well. Now you'll know what not to do. Again, don't do what Carol did. All right, so this is where I want to cut it. Come over here. Cut it off. Oh, I've still got a little bit of a leaf hanging out there. Okay. Oh, I have an idea for what to do at the top too. So, oh, you know, I can blame it on my pain, right? When you're in pain, you can't think. Yeah, that's my excuse. There, okay, that's gonna work. Oh, except we should have a little bit of a border there. So I should cut that off a little bit more. Hang on. Little bit more. Okay. And while I'm over here, I got my mistake cover up fixed for the top. Okay, now that's going to be perfect. All right, so you can use glue or you can use Stampin' Seal. But you do want to make sure that you've got glue here and here, you know, on 3 sides of that mechanism. Oops, I didn't get any on there. There we go. All right. You also want to do one side at a time. Don't try to do the whole card at once. So almost up to that score line, just a little bit below. Okay, that's perfect. Now we'll do the other side. There. I just love Stampin' Seal. I'm not really a glue girl. I use glue when I have to. I don't love glue. Okay. Now, okay, so this is what I was thinking. I've got a piece of designer series paper that I could put up here. But you know, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. Oh, I do like that little fox though. Oh yeah, okay, that sealed the deal. I'll cut right below his feet. I love that little fox. My craft room window is a perfect place to look at flowers. My husband puts all kinds of flower gardens outside, and I see birds and squirrels and an occasional fox out there, bunny rabbits, which I see one right now. There we go. I like that. Except oh, nope, I'll just do that. I'll just cover up that. Oh, perfect. Okay. I was so excited the first time I saw a fox spout out that window. And he was big and tall and skinny. Not like the foxes I remember seeing when I was a little girl. They seemed to be smaller and not so skinny. Then I worried that the fox isn't getting enough to eat and that we should leave out food for him. And my husband's rolling his eyes like, okay, Carol. Oh, I like that. And I even like the little surprise fox there. And that was a happy accident. How about that? All right, so now we're going to tie a bow here. And bear with me because my hands are not always the most coordinated when tying bows anyway. And after surgery, the one arm is a little sore around there. Shoulder, moving and working things. I tell you what, I am so thankful and grateful for all of the cancer research that has gone on in the last 20 years or so. I had friends that had it that long ago, and it is night and day difference almost. Gosh, they have so many programs in place to help people, and the medications and the procedures. Gosh, the radiation used to be pretty rough side effects. My mom had radiation. I remember. And I'm grateful I don't have to have chemo. It seems like they almost always did chemo back in the day, but now their surgeries can be more precise. There, now pull it almost a little shorter. There we go. Let's see. No, I think I'll leave it the way it was. Maybe a little shorter again. There, okay. Oh, I like this ribbon too. I think I might even like this better than that. I love this ribbon, but tied in a bow, this just looks really pretty. Don't you think? All right, now I just need to get the tails coming down the right end here, right place. They need to be at the bottom. There. Oh, I love that. What do you think? Okay, now to open it up. Ta-da! Isn't that pretty? Oh, I think I'm going to send this to my niece. Yeah. Or maybe my nephew. Oops, what did I do wrong there? Oh, it's catching on that. I can glue that down a little. Okay. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I think I like that ribbon better than this one. And since this one doesn't have that extra thickness, and plus that ribbon, I was able to get this tighter and secure it more than this one, so it holds it down better. Oh, and I like this a little better too. I have it down lower. And this is also a little bit shorter card because I was monkeying around with the measurements. So there you go. This is the matchbook fold. And I'm so glad you popped in today. Oh, there is one other thing. Winkostella. If we put a little bit of Winkostella, you won't be able to see it on camera, but in person, that little bit of subtle, glittery goodness just looks wonderful. And I have another one coming in the mail, which is good because this one's about out. Oh, that looks pretty. Yeah. Oh, and almost forgot the dots. Okay. Streaked dots. Let's use some little ones. We'll put one here. Always put one up by the, greeting. And, I think I like it there. There we go. Now I'm happy. All right, so again, thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next week and be on time. Pain-free would be nice. Even painless would be better. Less pain. Have a great day, and if you need a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I am available and I would love to help you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye.